Hi, I'm Paul Germain, and welcome to another session of Smart Boating. As you know, if you watched the show before, we cover a wide variety of topics, from man overboard to electronics. And the general idea is to provide you with a little bit of information that will help you make smarter decisions on the water. And today's show is basically up that alley. We're going to be focusing on Christmas gifts for boaters. Joining me is an expert in this area. His name is TJ Brown. Welcome, TJ.
How you doing, Paul?
Very well. How about yourself?
Can't complain.
Good, good. Hey, we got a cool show here, very timely. Christmas is on the near horizon. But before we get into it, can you share with people a little bit about your boating background and your involvement in marine retail?
Sure, absolutely. I've been at Three Lantern Marine for 8 years now. I'm the assistant manager. We are a recreational and commercial boating store for fishermen and lobstermen alike.
Wow, okay. You've got a lot of experience in different marine products, both the recreational and commercial.
Correct.
Wow, great. That's the perfect experience for this show. So we're in luck.
You got it.
All right, well, look, I thought we'd show people a sampling. You know, you go into a marine store like yours, there's thousands of items, right? But I thought we'd narrow it down to some things that, from our experience, we know a boater would probably like. And we're going to be showing different examples. Doesn't mean there aren't other manufacturers that make similar products, but it's a sampling designed really to provide people with ideas on what they might get someone for Christmas. So the first thing that we've got up here is boating magazine. So around here, you know, the winter, can't do much boating. So I enjoy being able to connect with it somehow, whether it's a website or it's the easiest thing oftentimes is a magazine like this. I subscribe to the boating magazine because I like power boats and they focus on power boats. So that's a pretty cool thing. Now, here's another type of magazine, Sounding, which is a little more, I don't know, lifestyle, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say that's a good word. Absolutely, the boating lifestyle.
It's less boating focused tests and more general. Yep. So that's an interesting magazine from a different perspective. And then you've got specialty magazines, like my brother's a big fisherman, and you've got a lot of customers that come in to do a lot of fishing.
Absolutely.
So a magazine like this, Salt Water, would be perfect for them, right?
Correct. Shows the regulations, how to tie some knots, and yeah, very, very useful information.
Yes. Yeah, that's one I can see be very popular. And, you know, every now and then you get one like this. I know you carry this one as well. This is Coastal News. This is focused more on like, commercial trade, and within that lobster boats and within that Maine lobster boats. So I like it because it's just fun to read. It's an area I don't know that much about, but it's definitely boats. So I think it's interesting. Have you ever looked at it?
Yeah, absolutely. And they do lobster boat races and they do all kinds of things. So it's actually very cool.
They do.
Yep.
Yeah, it is very cool. So that's some good reading. So if we stay in the area of reading, here's a couple other good examples. These are charts, of course. And so my thought is that, again, we're going to be into some heavy weather here pretty soon. You're not going to want to go outside. And to me, it's the perfect time to look at maybe some typical routes that you take and to use the compass and the rule and whatever else you got for navigational instruments and lay out the courses so that when you get into July and you want to go between Salem and Manchester, Beverly, and Gloucester, you've got these courses all laid out. So you had something to do during the winter, which was very useful to you in the summer.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
And those have the depths for the water and stuff. So if there's any rocks or anything like that, absolutely. That's kind of information you'd like to know.
I was just thinking about that the other day. Yeah, I was thinking about going to Boston. I said, I got to have a sharp eye on those charts for the rocks specifically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So those are just some of the reading materials here. I've got a list of stuff that we're going to cover today. One thing that sometimes we've talked about in the past is Eldridge, which is that manual that has the tides and the currents and that sort of thing. That I find a lot of people find very useful, don't they?
Yes, that's what I call the encyclopedia for boaters. Absolutely.
Yes,
yep.
yes. I see a lot of sailboaters in particular like it because it shows, again, the currents and the tides and things that they have to be more aware of than a power boater.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So you get regular magazines, you got Eldridge, you got charts, and of course we had a gift certificate around here someplace. That's always a good thing to have. which can be used for any of these things that we talked about so
Absolutely,
far,
yep.
and some of this other stuff we're going to look at. Well, let's assume we make it through winter, which I feel confident that we will. And you take the boat out of winter storage, and then you got to get it ready for the spring. So what you have to do is you've got to prep it and paint it. I'm going to get out some stuff here. See what we got here. There's a lot of stuff. Some of the stuff will be easier to see than others. Yep. So this is usually the first job I do on my boat because it creates so much dust and dirt that if I've cleaned the hull, everything from the bottom goes up on the hull and it's a mess. So I said, I'm going to do the bottom first. It's like a nasty job usually. It's usually a bit of sanding going on.
Yes, correct.
So you get the sandpaper going on. And again, so why are goggles here in our Christmas selection? Well, the reason I thought we might want to have them here is that it's something that a boater might overlook. He says, I'm just getting started. I don't have my goggles. Forget about it. Not a good move, right?
No, it's not.
No.
Even for people who have hooks and stuff, you protect your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a small thing. It's probably what, $10 or $12 or something like that.
Yeah, probably not even.
But you put it in the boater's toolkit. Now he doesn't have any excuse for not wearing good protection.
Correct.
He's thankful for it. He says, I didn't have to make a special trip to do it. Thankful that somebody got this for me, right?
Exactly. Just like a whistle. I mean, hopefully you never need it, but glad to have it if you do.
Exactly. So you put that on, and then we've got some choices here. Now I've got a little dinghy. So after I sand it, I have to use a paint like this to keep it shiny, for lack of a better term. Looks like it's what, about $60 for something like this?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, this is a nice paint. I've used it myself. And again, there are a lot of other manufacturers that make nice paints as well. But like a one-part epoxy paint is really, really a nice thing to have.
Yes.
And it's a nice gift, you know.
Absolutely.
This is a little roller, and that roller really works well on something like this. You know, I've been boating a long time, put on a lot of bottom paint, and just recently there's been eco-friendly paints, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Water-based, absolutely. Not so many toxins, absolutely.
Right. You need a thin roller like this to put it on, and then you need to need to make a significant investment to buy a paint like this. What's it say on there? $140 for a quart. And a boat my size is mid-20s. That's a gallon. That's about $350.
Yes.
So it's nice if someone says, I'm going to give you a gallon of bottom paint for your boat.
Absolutely.
That's excellent. That's $350 right there.
That's a great gift.
That's a great gift. Yeah. So that's a nice gift. And then, you know, anyone that's boated around here with could be an outboard that they leave drive down or an inboard outboard knows that roughly within a month it looks like an aquarium down there, right? It's got seaweed and it's got moss and it's got little crabs down there. It's crazy. So these new paints, I don't know how long they've been around, maybe 5 years or something, that you can paint the metals, paint your propeller. Great. Really, really effective and not cheap. I think it's what, $30, $40 for a can like this, isn't it? Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
That's why it makes a good Christmas gift.
Absolutely.
Something like that. So you do the bottom, and then you got the rest of the boat, right?
Correct.
So we got some other products that help with that.
We're making our way up.
Yep, we're making our way up. So why don't you explain what we got here?
So we start with, we got on and off, just like a bottom hull cleaner. We'll clean anything from, like we said, barnacles to rust and any stains, and it will bring it back to its nice and bright and white for you.
Okay, all right, so that's a great cleaner. Because we're trying to get things clean before we do anything here. How about this? This is an eco-friendly.
Yes, eco-friendly.
Product, right?
Good for the water, good for the fishes, and good for everybody.
Yeah.
And pretty reasonable. It's only about $20.
Right. So something people should think about is a lot of the well-known brands do a great job, but now there's some eco-friendly alternatives.
Correct.
You know, that they can use. So these are a couple products, again, that are pretty mainstream. I use them. I've had great success with them. It doesn't mean that there's a half a dozen others that are great too. But we've got a cleaner wax and a wax, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we do cleaner wax first.
Correct, cleaner wax first, yep, and then pure wax after, and then correct. Some other people do like a wax and a cleaner together, but
Is that right?
There is a couple options, yep, that you can do both
Okay.
together,
Yeah. Yeah.
just to save a little time.
Okay. That's always a good thing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So these are nice. So again, you have some alternatives here. We give, 2 or 3 alternatives. Why they make a valuable gift for people is that they protect the boat. They make a measurable difference, and they're not cheap.
No,
Now,
speaking of not cheap, teak.
yeah, teak. So in the old days, they used to blanket this thing with teak, right? All boats, the wood boats,
Yep.
and the mahogany and teak is like, oh my God, you spend half the season maintaining. Not so much anymore, but oftentimes there's a little bit of teak on things, isn't there?
There is.
Yeah. So what's going on here?
So to protect the teak, you want to keep it nice and colorful, keep it that vibrant color. So you'll just go with the wood cleaner first, and it's kind of formula A and B. So you just do A before B, kind of clean it, and then just kind of protect it.
All right, can't miss, right?
Can't miss. And
Yeah.
the best thing about this is you don't have to scrub.
Oh, is that
No
right?
scrubbing, scrubless.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You just put it on and let it do its thing.
Yeah, that's good deal. We have a couple other just smaller products here to share. This one, the microfiber towels. A lot of the waxes require these, I think, these days.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely want a microfiber cloth
In terms
for
of
sure.
getting the stuff back off again.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So you can buy a package of this. I don't know. It can't be a lot of money. I wouldn't guess $5 or something. $8.99. It's marine, so it's a little more. $9. But again, stocking stuffer.
Yeah.
Someone could say, "Hey, that's a little something for me." Again, a paintbrush. We've got an example here. What I find is that my labor is typically worth more than a couple extra bucks. So what I do, which may be right or may be wrong, is I try to find high quality product. With this brush, I don't want to be picking the bristles out of the thing, or having it stiffen up, or not getting to the right crevices and that sort of thing. So I always encourage people, it's a good gift, because to get a good one, it gets a little pricey.
Yes.
So those are good items to get. Let's see what else we've got on our list here today. Oh, tune-up part. So let's see here. So, it's funny because, years ago, everyone would tune up their car, tune up their boat. Now, it's becoming less of an issue, but it's still an issue, right?
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
It's one of the things we usually tell people, definitely take your filter, change them every year, kind of almost like you're like an oil change for a car.
Right. So what are we looking at here?
So you just got 2 different options. There's a Raycor filter, which are very popular, and Sierra filters, and they're all just kind of dependent on what size you have. And if you come in, we can size it up. The only difference are the outputs and the size that they screw onto. That's the only difference. Just the thread.
Again, almost vital to the correct operation of the machinery, and not inexpensive. $33 for the top one. I don't know, maybe mid-20s for the bottom one, right?
Bottom is definitely a little less expensive. For sure.
Okay. And just a couple other things that people might consider when they're changing the filters and that sort of thing. There's a couple issues going on, right, with the boat. One is keeping it running clean during the season, and the other one is storing it, right?
Correct.
So we've got some products here. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, so the first thing you'd probably want to do is, if there was any gas left in the engine, you'd want to put in a little fuel stabilizer, and that will burn out any gum deposits, any carbon that may be in the engine, or anything that might be stuck to the tank. And then once you burn everything out, it's usually like an ounce per every gallon of gas, so it's just a
Okay.
ratio.
Yeah.
And then after you're done with that, you'll do the storage, and that will you
Okay.
just fill it up, let it run out, and then it'll be stored for the
Just
let
good,
it, yep,
good to let it sit for a while.
let it flush out, yep, and then
Yeah.
store it for the year.
How about this Seafoam? This is a type of product. It's not just one brand, but it's the sample we have today. That's good for just general engine clean out during the season,
Correct,
right?
and we usually tell people same thing: do it before and after.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you can do it before you store it, and then once you're bringing it back out for the year. You can do it. It's like the first thing you can do.
Oh, okay. I've never used it, but I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it's very, very good. But one of the most popular products for sure.
Is it really?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Kind of tying into that is tools. Now, I just repowered my boat, and I had the engine for like 30 years, and it needed tools. It was a good, reliable engine, but you still need tools. And I think that's true regardless of how new your boat is. You're gonna, I don't know, it could be something wrong with the engine, could be a fitting comes loose in the electronics, could be the fishing rod breaks, right? And I think left to their own means, some boaters might find inexpensive alternatives, stuff that you might be fine at home. But if you're going to a marine application, it's good to get things that don't corrode or rust so much, right?
Correct, yes. And unfortunately, that's why they're a little bit more pricey.
Yeah.
But yes, they're corrosion resistant, so they won't rust and still work when you need them to.
Right. So here, pliers, we've got examples of pliers here. That's really a very useful thing to have, right?
Yep, swapping out hooks, absolutely. If, God forbid, you ever had to cut a hook off, or absolutely whatever you may need.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. So those are two very useful gifts. And if you get the quality ones, they're expensive. Another gift I wanted to point out here is this rigging knife. There's a very high probability that sooner or later you're going to run over a line. It could be a lobster boat line, it could be a dock line, whatever. And you're going to want to get it off, usually in a hurry. And what I found is I have a rigging knife that I keep on me all the time. It's got a serrated edge to it, and it cuts rope really good. So you don't want to do that if you can avoid it typically, but when you have to do it, you need a good weatherproof, marine-proof rigging knife, right?
And a last-ditch effort, absolutely. You're going to want to make sure you know it cut.
Right.
For sure.
Right. So again, you could get some cheap offshore brand for next to nothing probably, but when you're stuck there, caught on someone's lobster pot and it's a 10-foot sea, better have the investment, and that's why it makes it such a great Christmas gift.
Absolutely. And with a rigging knife, what it has also has a marlin spike. So if you want to do splice rope and all that stuff, it has that as well.
Yes.
They're kind of tough to find, so a lot of people ask for them. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. Popular. I wanted to talk just briefly, we have the picture here a little bit, but this is the box to my GPS. And the reason I wanted to bring it into the show today was there are various electronics. I'm looking to see if we have some other ones. Yep, we do. That what I've seen is that electronics have become more capable, and they've done a pretty good job of keeping the lid on the price. So this is a good boater's gift where you don't have to set aside $500 or even $300. I think this is probably, roughly $2.50 or something like that. And it's just a great, valuable thing to have on a small boat like mine. Any boat under, say, 28 feet, a lot of your Makos, your Aquasports, and regulators, something like this is a nice gift because it just is invaluable if you're out there in bad weather, poor visibility, that sort of thing. You can lay out a course and you can get home safely.
Absolutely. They are definitely invaluable. They're invaluable in the car. In a boat, even more.
Even more so. Right. So that's a great gift. And then kind of related to that is this one here. What's interesting about this from a gift perspective is that radios have, as you know, have come along to integrate DSC AIS type technologies with the traditional VHF technologies.
Yep.
So you get them 2-in-1, where you can get basically a one-button connection to emergency assistance if you need it. So I bought this one, recently, maybe within the past year, and that's the thing that attracted me. I said, if I get in trouble, I can push this one button and the signal goes up. I think that's a great boater's gift because it just brings that level of safety up for short money. Again, we're not talking about $500 or $1,000. We're talking about, $150, $200 maybe.
Correct.
Yeah. So nice addition and a nice gift,
And great to have that one-touch GPS. So if you get lost, at least they can find you.
Isn't that great?
That's a good option.
Yep. Got a box of flares here. Someone would say, well, why would you have a box of flares as a boater's Christmas present? Well, what I found is that they've got, I don't know, 5 or 6 flares in there, and they have a date. They're dated, right? So,
Yes.
so you put them in someplace you can easily access them, but not something that's in the way, and they're there. And then you don't think about it for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And then the expiration date goes by, and now you're in trouble with the Coast Guard and or whoever's on the boat if you run into trouble, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I find that this is a kit, right? So it's got the gun, and
Yes.
it's got the
has
different
the gauges.
flares.
Correct. And the smoke place.
Right. So oftentimes what I find that it's less expensive to buy the whole kit than it is to buy the individual flares.
Absolutely, without a doubt, that's the best deal.
Kind of a funny thing, but it's a great gift, I think. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we had a light here. Not sure it's with us right now. We did have a flashlight. Did you find it? Find it our, it's like Santa Claus, right?
Yeah,
Looking
absolutely.
in the sack. Yeah. Yep. So here's some light. Again, why is a flashlight a good gift for a boater? Well, I find that my boat, which isn't very big, 24 feet, it's got dark spaces in it. Behind the electronics panel, in the cabin, where I keep the anchor, in the bilge, all sorts of spots that you go.
And you always find out at the worst time, so
No,
good to have
I know
an
it's
option
an
at least.
emergency and something's leaking and you're searching for it, and with your just regular eyesight, not going to happen. But with a waterproof flashlight, you can figure out what's going on and
let
deal
there
with
be
it.
light.
Let there be light. Yep. Yep. So that's a good one. Thought we talked just briefly about PFDs. This isn't a safety show today, but the reason I thought we'd bring them up as a good Christmas present is that I think the prices have come down in recent years, and the functionality's gone up.
Yes.
And so I think a lot of people, including myself, have been a little loath to wear the yellow or orange jackets because they're so bulky and they get in your way.
Yes.
And a jacket like this just fits right on you and don't even notice it.
Yes. Nice and sleek and slim. Correct. And they come in automatic, manual, and hydrostatic. So
Okay.
if it hits water and it goes off automatically, or
Right.
if you need to pull it yourself, or
Yeah.
or you can just blow into it. Worst case scenario as well.
Yep.
But in those range, I think like $80 to $200. But like you said, they're Mustang to the top of the line.
Yeah.
And it's good to have and hopefully not need.
Exactly. Exactly. What did we got on our list? Oh, clothing. So this is important. I think increasingly important to people now. I know a lot of people, a few people anyways, that have suffered from skin cancer. And a boat is a very easy place to get that because you get the sunshine coming off the water all the
absolutely.
time. So this is a nice thing to think about, rather than putting on a cotton shirt out of your closet, you buy something like this. What sort of protection does this provide?
So those are all UPF 30. Like you said, will protect your skin, protect your body, your head.
Yeah.
If you've ever been on a boat and gotten burnt,
Yeah.
we don't like to feel like lobsters. We like to catch lobsters.
Right. Yeah. So again, this is a good investment. Again, it's going to really help you avoid any skin issues.
And they have the wicking technology too, so they actually keep you cool. You'd think it'd actually keep you warm, but
Oh.
no, they actually cool you off.
Oh, that's interesting, yeah. And here's the hat. Again, I see more and more people wearing hats. And again, your head is your radiator, and the beams come down like this. So if you have a hat, that makes a big difference in
Yes.
keeping out of the bad effects
absolutely.
of the sun. We've got another piece of clothing here. And what I find, TJ, you may find the same thing, is that when I bring people out in the boat, oftentimes they don't boat a lot. So it's good to maybe have something on hand that if the temperature drops or the weather changes, they can slip into and feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is both waterproof
And waterproof and windproof.
and windproof.
so
right,
keep you
right.
warm and keep you dry.
So it's what, $120 or so?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So again, you have that for yourself or for a guest. Nice thing, a nice Christmas gift. This is the pants, that they do. So you'd have a jacket like that, and they'd have pants. Again, good way to keep dry,
Correct.
as we know tonight, dry, and break down that wind, right?
Absolutely.
Make it comfortable.
Correct.
Yeah.
Can't make money if you're not warm.
No, you can't. You can't. I thought, let's look at one other safety item here. Can you explain these? I got one for the boat and I got one for the person, right?
Correct. So it's called an EPIRB, and an EPIRB allows everybody on the boat to hook up with a rescue link, and you attach it to your coat or your bib, your vest.
Yeah.
And if you are unfortunate to go over, it will alert the captain that you've entered the water,
Right.
and they can turn around, pick you up, send someone to come get you, or at least know that you're in the water. So that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, and they're not big money. I
No,
mean,
they're not big money.
the one for the vessel is going to be more than the individual one, but I don't know, a couple $100 for the
Correct. Anywhere
small
between like 300 to 500, depending on what category you need. There's category 1 and 2, and that's just based on where you're fishing. But we can help you out with that.
one.
No worries.
All right. Again, great gift because whoever went out is going to come back again. Now we've got a couple of things that you go boating to have fun, and of course the kids are usually out there these days. And here's a gift for them. What do you think of something like this? Are these pretty popular?
Yes, they're actually very, very popular. A lot of tubing, not so much wakeboarding and water skiing around here. So tubing is
Right.
very popular.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is a perfect example of what people would be using, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we got one person ride. We have multiple riders. So we have big ones, small ones, and everything in between.
Right. I see more and more often as the years go by, people anchoring. They just go from, say, Marblehead to Manchester, and they anchor for the day.
You got
So
it.
to have toys like this is really important.
Absolutely.
So let's see here. We'll grab just a couple fishing lures
You got
right there. So you're Three Lantern Marine and Fishing, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So here's some fishing stuff that guys would enjoy. Fishing's an age-old sport. Now this is kind of a small rod, right?
It is a small rod, but a lot of people do freshwater fishing around
Freshwater.
here along with saltwater fishing.
Yeah.
So if the kids
Yeah.
want to go in the pond, or it
Yeah.
just works perfect. It's collapsible, so it fits in very small places. So
Yes.
that's a very good thing. Because
And they could use it in saltwater too. I can see them using it in the harbor or just outside the harbor, or
you can
something
catch
like
bait
that.
fish with that for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a fun little toy. And then we've got these lures here. Got a couple. Gonna stack them up like that. People love to go fishing around here, right?
Striper fishing is the most prominent around here. So yes, all three of those are good for striper. We have bluefish plugs. We have a little of everything, but yeah, striper is mainly the most prominent around here,
Okay.
and we have tons of options.
Yeah.
This is just a few.
a sampling. Right. Well, that's great. Well, TJ, we've covered a lot of ground here today pretty quickly. And that was really the intent of the show, to give people, just get their ideas going about what a boater might like. Before we close out the show today, is there anything you want to add?
I just want to let everyone know that we're located at 7 Parker Street. We actually have a holiday sale going on everything in the store, so everything that we just showed you is at least 10%, maybe 15% off. We're doing giveaways we're giving away $500 gift cards to the lucky winners. So if you spend $25, you're eligible for that. And we will be there until Christmas.
Right.
We're not going anywhere. I promise.
That sounds good. And if they want to check out your selection, is there a website they can?
They can visit
Check out
freelanternmarine.com, absolutely. We have a Facebook page as well. And if you want to call the store at 978-281-2080, anyone who's there can help you as well.
Can help answer your questions. Excellent. Well, thank you for joining me on the show today.
No problem, Paul. Thank you.
And thank you, Smart Boating viewers. If you have comments or questions, visit us at our website, www.smartboatingus.com. Thank you.